Another week, another draft, another Kaldheim. Let's just jump right in and ooh-wee, we've opened a pretty good one. Halvar, God of Battle. Constructed card right now. Lots of standard play being seen with this, but in limited, I think it's the Sword of the Realms that you want to normally cast out here with this one, as it just makes any creature you equip so potent, and of course, well, it makes it very hard for you to ever run out of creatures because of the ability. Let's see, what else do we have in this pack? We have like the best common in Packmate, a very good common in Veil. All three of these uncommons are certainly decent as well. But it's going to be hard for me to pass the Halvar here. It's just too good, pick one, pack one. And even though I don't love white in this format, it's just too good of a card to pass. Normally I tend to go like a more aggressive deck when I have the Halvar, but I guess we'll just have to see what kind of cards that we get past here. Alright, so looks like there is a common missing, and it is not the Snowland. Got past the Blood Sky Massacre, Giant's Amulet, Squash. Those are like the three best cards here. Then there's like a Masked Vandal, which is good, and some other playable cards. I mean, after a Halvar, it's kind of hard to say which one's the best, because it doesn't really fit all that well. I think I'm going to lean towards one of these, either that Massacre or the Amulet. Like, there's a world where you could go like Mardu aggro, maybe splash something, but I don't know. I've been pretty impressed with how good the Amulet is, though. So I think I might take that instead. And it also has a nice synergy here with the Sword of the Realms, in that it gives the sword gives a creature vigilance. So in conjunction with the amulet, you just have a permanent hexproof creature. So I think that's a fine follow-up. Okay, and now I don't mind just taking a Bound in Gold here, third pick. Is it the best card in the pack? It might be. Doomscar Titan's fine. Bind the Monster's playable, although you don't want too many of those. Depart the Realm, I've actually been really impressed by this one. And then like a Snow-Covered Swamp. But I guess I'm not upset getting a Bound in Gold here. Goes along with the Halvar that I already have, and there's just not too much else in this pack, so it seems good to me. Blue-white is the color of the Foretell deck. So Vega is the card you're looking for there, and then just a bunch of Foretell, of course, as we have double rune here. Interesting. Both of these runes are very solid. I think I'm going to lean towards taking the Rune of Sustenance here, but either of these runes is already fantastic on both the Sword of the Realms and the Giant's Amulet. And we're not really losing out on much here. I suppose you could take the Fall of the Imposter if you wanted to instead, as it is a solid uncommon, and green-white go wide is a viable strategy, but I think given what we have, I don't mind taking the rune here instead. Been pretty impressed with how the runes play out, especially if you get any number of equipment, and since we already have the two, it seems like a fine play. And then, now you can keep your eye out for the Runed Crown, which just lets you tutor for one of the runes, and you have some really good builds. So in this start so far, I'm actually not going to mind just taking up some, random small creatures, because when you can go tall instead of wide, that is to say, when you can go like equipping one creature instead of needing to go play out multiple creatures, it doesn't really matter what you play. Like even getting that 1/2 flyer wouldn't be the worst case scenario, Okay, fifth pick, and kind of a drop off already in the cards that we want to see here. I could just take the Snow-Covered Island, as there's not much here that really does anything for me. Could consider taking like the Teskari Firewalker, going into the red-white aggro deck, which is pretty solid. But yeah, I mean, this pack is just not very good to begin with. Invoke the Divine is a fine sideboard card. I don't think I'm going to need the Raven's Wings, but it is okay, of course. So it's going to be between the Snow-Covered Island here and the Firewalker for me. Yeah, and I guess the upside of taking the island now is pretty worth it, If I see something like a Ice Field, or what's it called, Ice Pillar later on or something like that. It's just going to be pretty nice. This is actually a huge signal here. 6th pick Mistwalker is, I think, a big sign in my opinion, as this is a really, really good blue common. One of the top couple blue commons in the format. Like, Behold the Multiverse, I think, is the clear number 1, but Mistwalker could be the 2nd best blue common in this format. So I think seeing this 6th pick is a good sign. Cards that we would play, maybe the Champion, probably the Scald, but this is just an easy Mistwalker pickup, and yeah, now that's looking fantastic. This is more considered like a 5-drop. Okay, and so similar to, or not similar, but that's what I was talking about. Like, I don't mind taking the Battlefield Raptor here just because we have a few equipment that can go on top of it. But that being said, it is possible I want to take like the God's Hall Guardian here. I've actually been somewhat impressed with this card. It just blocks the majority of creatures in this format. And if you slap on flying with it, then it's just a flying vigilance that's so hard to kill. But I think I'm going to take the Raptor here. I think I'm going to try to stay aggressive and cheap. And the Raptor, again, with any amount of equipment is completely reasonable. I won't mind picking up, say, like a pickaxe or whatever it's called, the Gold Miner's Pick. Yeah, and of course the Ruined Crown is something that we are really on the lookout for, but I think this is a decent start. Saw it coming pretty late now too. Okay, I do like this card. There is a Starnheim Courser, which is completely reasonable, and in fact, not too shabby with some of the cards that I already have, but I do like this card. And while there are other playables, I think that's a good one to pick up. Pretty late Frost Augur. You know, I only have the one snow land right now. So if I do take this, I would need to start taking the snow pretty heavily to make it work. You need a reasonable amount of snow cards to want to run the Frost Augur. So if I'm not taking this, I'm taking like the sideboard Invoke the Divine. But that being said, this is an uncommon. It's harder to pick up, and the upside here is going to be worth it. We can get some Invoke the Divines later, so leave ourselves open to the Augur, and of course there's one of the Invoke the Divines that we were talking about. But here I might actually just take the Shieldmate. This is another card that I've been a little bit surprised with just in the equipment deck, though I think it's better in red-white, just because they often want to trade with your creature and then you get a replacement for it to start equipping up as well. So fine with that. We're going to take a Run Ashore here. I do like having access to one Run Ashore in these type of decks. Okay, Draugr Thought Thief is playable, though not exciting. I don't really care for the Oxes or the Harbingers. Another Run Ashore, but this time we will take the sideboard Invoke. An Ox, perhaps, if I get the, what's it called, the Plow. And last pick, Raven form. Lots of different opinions on the Raven form. I think it's fine, especially if I'm going to go into the blue-white flyer deck. It becomes much better because the 1/1 flyer is not so much of an issue. But it's not going to be like my number one choice of removal. All right, pack number 2. We opened one of the better Boast cards, the Dragonkin Berserker. What is here for me? Nothing really. We have like a Valor of the Worthy, which I don't want to first pick. Mists of Lit Yara, which I don't want to first pick. Arctic Tree Line, which I don't really want to take either. I think I might just be taking the King Narfies. For now, this is just a minor splash if we ended up running it, but the card is very, very powerful. Much better than the other blue-black saga, in my opinion. And again, if we do pick up a Gold Miner's Pick or whatever, splashing becomes a lot more viable. So we'll take that. We'll see what happens. Ooh, and here we go. Bound in Gold, Bind the Monster, Snow-Covered Island, Divine Gambit, Rydane, and a Cyclone Summoner. Very easy choice here. Rydane is very impressive. Normally, you want to cast this on the Valkmira side of things, as it's so hard to beat if the opponent doesn't have, or if they don't have a way to deal with it. But there will be times that you just want to cast a 2/3 flyer for 3, and of course, the abilities on Raidane are also relevant. There are games where you're gonna, your opponent's gonna foretell things like Struggle for Skemfar or Behold the Multiverse, and then they're gonna end up costing the same amount because of the Raidane. But very, very good card. Another card that's actually seeing a lot of constructed play in the same deck with Halvar. So let's take that and be happy. Another solid pack here. Glimpse the Cosmos is absurd. Valkyrie Sword, very good. There's a Depart, there's a Kinseeker, a Valkyrie, a Story Seeker. A lot of good choices here. I think the top 2 picks are going to be either the Equipment or the Glimpse. And right now we have 2 Giants. We have the Mistwalker and we have the Giant's Amulet for the Glimpse the Cosmos. And this card has just been so impressive for me. I'm going to want to take some blue Giants a little bit higher now, but Glimpse the Cosmos has been so efficient at just, churning through your deck. It's basically a mini dig through time, and with any number of Giants, it's just way too good to pass up. So I think that's my easy choice here. As we get some a little bit less exciting other choices here. There's an Iron Verdict, there's a Master Scald, there's a Snow-Covered Plains. Snow-Covered Plains would be good, especially now that we have the Glimpse of the Cosmos. Finding our Berg Striders would be nice. But I think here we probably just want to take one of these 2 white cards. Scald can get back Amulet, Bound in Gold, the Rune. Iron Verdict is just an okay removal spell. Kind of like taking the first Iron Verdict over the first Scald, although I don't know which one's better there. Okay, and that made that easy, as we will now get the Master Scald. Second Fall of the Imposter. There's that Plow. Could have had the Plow with like 5 different Ox. Pretty late Shimmerdrift Veil. Would like that card as well, but kind of in the need for playables since a little bit short, so let's just take the Scald. Okay, and there is a Valkyrie Sword now that we can choose. Passing a Doomscar Oracle. Creature count right now is a little bit low for me, I suppose. But the sword is just so much better. Another Scald. Man, a lot of Slumber Mounds and Frostpires going around. I'm going to take the Kinseekers here. If you can get the trigger, make it a 3/5. It just blocks, again, most things on the ground. And notably, it is a Giant for Glimpse the Cosmos. Nice. Wow. Really late Augury Raven. 8th pick Augury Raven. That is exactly what we've been looking for here. Some of those blue-white flyers. Another good Foretell card. And now we wheel Valor, Treeline. Don't need another Run Ashore. Late Ice High Troll, but maybe nobody's doing the snow deck. Really, I need creatures. I have a bunch of equipment already, so I'm going to go ahead and take the half on-color Snowland just for potential in the later pack. Same thing here. I'm going to take the Snow-Covered Island over the Bind the Monster. Again, that's going to reap some rewards in pack number 3. I always like running at least one Depart the Realms when I have a chance to in my blue decks. So even though, the Yeti now is reasonable because of the 3 Snowlands and the equipment, and the Liara is good too, I think I want the Depart. Okay, I don't need a second Raven form. We'll take a Mist for the board. Probably not going to end up running the Blast, but you never know. Wow, wheeling the Slumberbolt. Yeah, I mean, are my colors particularly open? Not really. Kind of stuck with what I had taken early on and never moved away from it, but wow, if this was a sealed pack, I would be so thrilled. Glimpse the Cosmos, Icebind Pillar, Vega, Blue Snowland. Like, we need too many cards of this pack is the issue. How many Foretell cards do I have for Vega right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not bad. Pillar, a little bit low on the snow sources for Pillar right now, but I do think it is slightly better than the Vega. And it's possible that the Vega wheels. I just don't know how greedy this is. I feel like I want the Vega here more, but I'm going to miss the Pillar. but I think that's okay. Like, realistically, I would only need, what, 2 more snow lands for the pillar to be good? But I think I'm okay taking the Vega. No upset. Wow. Jeez. Another Vega now. So that gives me some redundancy if I want. There's also a Shepherd of the Cosmos, one of the best white uncommons you can find. It's actually not very good in my deck, though, as I don't have too many things to get back with it right now, so I think I'm just going to double up on the Vega. Notably, there's a Runeforged Champion here, and I do have the Rune of Sustenance, so that's also a lot of value. You know, I guess because I already have a rune, it might be better to grab the Runeforged Champion than the redundant Vega when I only have, what, how many did we count? 4 Foretell cards at the moment. But these are, I mean, I want the Valkyrie too, but this is rough. This is another one where I can see that the Runeforged Champion kind of wheels because nobody else wants it. And I could also see the Vega wheeling, but I'm just going to go ahead and take the Champion since we already have a rune. Okay, let's take another Foretell card here. This time, Doomscar over Depart number 2 seems reasonable. Another Augury Raven seems good. There's another rune, by the way. And we do have that King Narfi's Betrayal that was a pseudo consideration, but I never got any picks, so we'll just take Raven number 2. Another good pack here as we get a second Giant's Amulet. All right. Stalwart Valkyrie over Ice Tunnel. This is kind of interesting. That unlocks the King Narfi's Betrayal? Is that good enough? No, I don't think the fixing's correct, so probably worth it just to take the Valkyrie here. Jeez, a lot of playables here for me. We didn't get any snow cards, so the island's not relevant anymore. Kind of want to just take another Raptor. Does the Frostpire get any duplicates? The Raven form, but I don't think we want to be running... Oh, I didn't even take the second Raven form. Okay, so I'll just take the Raptor. Starnheim Courser, Valor of the Worthy. I mean, how many cards am I cutting here? I guess I'm cutting the Draugr Thought Thief. Courser's nice because it lets like the Valkyrie Sword come down on turn 6. But with all these cheap flyers, the Valor of the Worthy is super tempting too. Gives us another enchantment for the Master Skull to return as well. I'll just take the Courser. Wish I had one more equipment. Alright, and then we'll get the Valor here anyways. Yeah, wish I had one more equipment, I think. Just one pick would be good, but we have Sword, we have Halvar. So that's fine. Story Seeker for sideboard. I don't think that's a 2-drop we want to be running here. Still need to cut like 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're at 7 Foretell cards now. How many giants do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, I guess I can cut the Run Ashore. I guess I can cut the Valor of the Worthy too. It's probably one of the weakest cards I have in the deck. I'm still a little bit questioning these Battlefield Raptors though. Without some picks, I don't like them as much at all. And there's probably some build I can do now with the double Valor, double Raptor, but it might just be better to not play those in the main. So I guess I only have 1 creature to cast on turn 2. The rest is a bunch of Foretell. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay. Didn't wheel the other Vega. No surprise there, I suppose. I mean, I think this deck is fine. I guess the Ravens and the Raptors are all birds, right? Yeah, they're all birds, so would help out on the Kinseeker trigger. So maybe there's some slight relevance there. Because my deck doesn't really do anything until turn 3 now. Maybe I should be running the Story Seeker. Yeah, maybe the Story Seeker is a little bit better than the Shieldmate. Yeah, Braggart's not a bad one to have, too. Braggart with Amulet is another nice little pseudo combo. Because you can give it the untap ability so it regains the hexproof. This is not a giant, right? This is a dwarf warrior. Okay. Bunch of Harbingers, not going to run any of those. I don't know. Maybe I don't run the Run Ashore. It seems like a good top end card here, though. What to cut? Let's see. Amulet's a creature, basically. Creatures. Foretell, foretell, foretell. Foretell, foretell, foretell. Yeah, maybe the Run Ashore is cuttable. This is like 16 creatures with the double amulet. Our removal is Bound in Gold, Counter, Raven Form, Verdict, Bounce. I still have a feeling these Battlefield Raptors could be in the deck. And instead of running these amulets, go faster in the air. Just random poke damage. I guess maybe I don't need the Lit Yara. Now that I have double amulet, that's probably a fine cut as well. I mean, this looks fine, right? Maybe, again, the Shieldmate can be cut for something better. Maybe the Shieldmate gets replaced with the Raptor. And then I bring in the other for something. Maybe I don't need to start the Bounce spell. Or maybe I don't need to start the Raven form. Yeah, I can probably cut the Depart. Go like this. I'm going to end up running the Battlefield Raptors, I think. Try them out. Okay, and let's just add some lands. Let's go 9 white, 8 blue. We need double blue for the amulets, of course. And, I wonder, because if I have Halvar, if running the Valor of the Worthy is worth it too. Because if I'm playing the Halvar as a creature, then I only have the Valkyrie's Sword as the one equipment. Oh, I guess the Rune of Sustenance also equips. Never mind, that's probably fine. All right, let's do this and head over to the first round. Okay, here's round 1 of this Kaldheim draft with our blue-white Flyers / Foretell deck. On the draw with a fine hand, turn 2 Raven on Foretell. Hello, good luck, have fun. Bound in Gold for their first relevant play. Rune of Sustenance if we want to, although I think we might hold that. I actually have to double check. I'm not sure if the Rune of Sustenance can be pulled from the graveyard with the champion. I know the Crown can pull from graveyard, but I don't remember if the champion can pull from graveyard. Although that being said, now that I've drawn the Giant's Amulet, we'll wait until we get the amulet online before putting out the rune. Ooh, our opponent has nothing but snowlands so far. That's pretty nice. Let's go ahead and just run out the Raven here. We have a lot of slow plays, unfortunately. Like, I still have the Valkyrie potentially next turn. But Amulet I don't want to cast until like turn 5, Sword until turn 7. There was slight merit to maybe running out the Amulet here, but I think it's probably better served as a hold-off. I could take this block. I don't think I'm going to. Not with the rune in our hand. Wow, 4 snowlands to start. Nice. As they have... Wow, okay. Looks like they have a pretty decent snow deck over there. Another amulet now. Well, I think now what I might do is actually run out one of the amulets. This is kind of a rough turn. I also don't want to take too much damage here. I guess I can just play out the Valkyrie. We can probably wait one more turn. It's possible I trade now for the Grim Draugr if they offer. I can't block the Valkyrie here, obviously. They can double pump it. Okay, let's see if they activate. No activation on the Draugr. I'll go ahead and offer the trade now. Possible I should have just done this last turn with the Raven. Okay, they are going to plump up the Valkyrie just once, so 2 mana left. 3 mana now with the land play. And an Iron Verdict to kill the Raven off. Okay. We did find the land, though, so I'm going to go ahead and just slam this amulet. And then we can suit it up with the Rune of Sustenance next turn to recoup 4 of our life. So that's going to be good. Can also bound now the Valkyrie. I kind of want them just to go all in. Hopefully they double pump here, hit me for 6. They have something better to do. If they just pass with a bunch of mana open, though, it's probably better not even to attack with the wizard. Ah, they have a Furia. Okay. Well, that's not a bad draw. Let's go ahead and rune up the amulet, draw a card. Land's good. Attack for 4, lifelink. I don't have a good way to deal with Furia. Do I want to hold up and counter this turn, or do I want to bound and gold the flyer now? I think I'd rather just bound and gold the flyer, because they don't really have much pressure if I neuter this Valkyrie. Okay, they attack for 2 lifelink. Man, if we can get the angel from the Valkyrie sword equipped with the amulet and the rune, it's going to be pretty hard to beat. It's going to be a 6/5 flying vigilance lifelink hexproof. Yeah, that would be nuts. Foretell. All right. I mean, that's not too bad for me. Hopefully that's like... Ooh, and that's a fantastic draw. Hopefully that's just like a poison the cup that we get to saw it coming. And now I get to Iron Verdict the Furia. It's another Iron Verdict. Okay, let's go for an Iron Verdict on their Furia first in response. They have nothing. So now we can decide if we want to let this resolve or if we want to counter it and protect. I think since we're not going to play out any of our other cards, this is worth countering. Getting for 4, another lifelink hit. Pass again. All right, let's go to a combat. Nice, another 4, and now let's play the sword. Make the big ol' angel, and if they don't have a wrath, then they're going to be in pretty bad shape here. Remember, the Rune of Sustenance is on top of the amulet, so if I move the amulet over to a different creature, it will then gain the lifelink. All right, and 4 cards in hand, but they scooped it up, so must not have had anything to deal with those creatures. Good for us. Don't think we really have much of a sideboard versus them. I guess the Battlefield Raptors might be a little bit worse off when they have some number of flyers. So this might be a matchup where I'm supposed to take out the Raptors. Bring in like a bounce. I mean, all my other options aren't very good. Didn't see anything to invoke, right? Bounce. Mists is kind of medium. Could just bring in Run Ashore, I suppose. Although that's kind of lackluster as well. But I don't I mean, I think they're going to be better than the Raptors, so let's bring in the double bounce spells here instead. And yeah, pretty decent hand here. On the draw again for game 2. I wonder how many snowlands the opponent has, because they had a lot last game, and they're already starting this game with at least 1, maybe 2. All right. We did see, what, double Iron Verdict from the opponent. Let's foretell our Raven. We can check the Runeforge champion now. You may search your library and or graveyard. Okay, so it does also search from the graveyard. That's nice. I guess I should expect the champion to also be like the crown in that regard, eh? As they just pass. And I think we want to be efficient with our mana. So instead of playing out the 3/3 flyer, let's play the Runeforge champion and immediately tutor. This way I for sure get to draw a card, in a sense, right? Because I'm tutoring the rune from my library. For example, if I had drawn the rune next turn, that would be so awkward if I hadn't played the champion out. So 3 mana, 2/3 draw card, not the worst. Wow, they're going to poison my champion. That is a bit of a surprise. That could mean they overvalue it or they needed the scries. And with a double bottom, it could be that they're just looking for land at this point. Okay, 4 mana. There's a Stalwart Valkyrie. We don't really care about that. A few different plays here, but I think Glimpse the Cosmos plus the Raven is probably the best. Bounce here or Raven number 2. I think both could be pretty good. Guess we'll just take the 3/3 flyer. We already have a little bit of interaction with the Iron Verdict anyways. And once I get this Giant's Amulet online, then we're going to be able to flash back the Glimpse. So they had Furia last game. Okay, Feed the Serpent. That's not too bad. Don't really care about taking 3. We're going to take another 3 next turn as well, but I mean, we have the Rune for some extra life gain, and then of course the Verdict in a pinch if it comes to that. Although we're probably just going to save the Verdict for their Furia. So next turn, draw for turn, and then probably just immediately fire off the Glimpse. See what our options are. It should be noted that they do know about the Rune of Sustenance in my hand. Okay, Lityara, Glade Warden. I do not care about that one either. Well, now I wonder if it's better to play the Doomscar Oracle first for that extra life gain. That seems fine. We get to go Doomscar Oracle here. Glimpse gain 2. And then we can just go ahead and ruin the Amulet, because that's our best target anyways. Oh, nice little Vega. Okay, and now we have pretty fantastic use for our double Foretell cards on a future turn. All right, once again, put the Rune on the Amulet. Hey, how about a Halvar? Ooh, man, we can put that on the... If they don't kill my Giant Wizard this turn, I get to play the Sword of the Realms, equip it, and have a 6/5 lifelink vigilance hexproof. Holy smokes. That's going to be nice. Oh, by the way, we're back at 20. Just undid all the damage they dealt. What was that? Oh, no! Invoke the Divine on my Amulet. Okay. That's a little bit saddening. I do have another Amulet somewhere in the deck, but... Huh. Okay, I'm fine just taking this. I think I'm in a good position to try to race. As they Iron Verdict my token away, sure. Wow. Fantastic draws for me. All right, well, they've just used Invoke the Divine. Let's go ahead and run out the Valkyria here. And then I'm going to play out the Vega and draw, or rather gain 2 life, I think. And now the race is just so heavily in my favor. Pretty good cards here. This attack is only for 4. And a pass. All right. So we definitely want to foretell these cards. Do I want to attack first? I guess that's fine. Let's go ahead and just smash in for 5. See if they have another Iron Verdict here. I don't really care if they kill the Vega. It's done its job for the most part. My only concern is that I might not get another chance to Iron Verdict if I don't play it out right now. But yeah, I'm gonna double foretell here. And play out the flyer. It's kind of weird not getting my Sword of the Realms online sooner, but if I wait until after the Courser, it's only going to cost 1 mana. I am very surprised they're attacking again. All right, I mean, I'm happy to take it all. Take 4, go to 8. Maybe they do have a Wrath in their hand. No, Grim Draugr. 2 cards left. No plays. Okay, well, I want to make sure I use the Iron Verdict when I have the chance, and I'm going to go ahead and kill their flyer here. This is going to draw us a card off of the Vega as well. Demonic Gifts. Okay, that's fine. Sure. They get back their flyer. No big deal. Let's cast the Raven, draw a card, gain some life. That's a lot of land. And now we'll go ahead and just play out the Sword of the Realms. Equip it up. And I think we just bash with everything here. Maybe not the Vega. I guess we can leave back the Vega. This is still a huge hit. And this way, because they have the Grim Draugr, I don't randomly lose to like some huge menace creature, right? It being the huge menace creature. Okay, this is good for us. So I'm going to get the Doomscar Oracle back to my hand. I think it's better to equip the Vega up than foretell the Doomscar Oracle, though. Because, again, the only way I'm going to lose this game is from a Wrath. And so if I put the sword on the Vega, then I get the Vega back as well. No attacks. All right, so probably no Wrath from them. Let's go ahead and bash in through the air. I don't know why they didn't use this. I think I'm going to leave back the 3/3. Maybe they think that this is instant speed, but Glade Warden sorcery speed only. And then we're just going to foretell the Oracle and pass. I'm leaving back the 3/3 instead of the 2/2 because the 3/3 blocks any of their creatures since I have the Valkyria. Okay, now they're going to use the Glade Warden. Sure. I don't understand what this could be. Okay, they're just dead on board here. So we'll attack with all of our flyers and call it a day. Yep, GG. They had nothing in foretell. And so, yeah, and our draws were going to be sick. We are going to draw the Bounding Gold, cast the Doomscar for 1, draw a card off of the Vega trigger, draw the sword, and then remember each of these would cost 1 less with the Courser on the battlefield. So, all right, let's go to round 2. And here we are for round 2 of this Kaldheim Drafto. On the draw, with a pretty good hand. Opponent taking at least 1 mulligan over there. I love foretell. It's just been so nice. Like, it lets you do things early on with any mana, regardless of how expensive those cards actually are. Of course, you can get run over by a fast deck by doing so, but... Hi, good luck, have fun. All right, opponent mulligan to 5, so if we can just do a lot of 1-for-1 trading, that's generally going to be in our favor. Oh, okay, as they get a little value there. I could discard the Raven and then immediately play the Valkyrie on turn 2, but we definitely don't need these lands here. The Glimpse of the Cosmos can dig for a 4th one in a pinch if I really need to. Okay, I guess now that I drew the Oracle, I'd rather play that out. Next turn I can Oracle plus Glimpse and gain 2 life. So the opponent plays a Coma's Faithful. Okay, and that's another nice one too to trade with. That'll fuel my graveyard. Let's go ahead and Doomscar. Glimpse, gain 2 life. I guess I'm going to take a land. All right. If they attack here, I'll trade. That'll let me cast the Valkyrie next turn for 2 mana, in addition to being able to foretell one of the other cards. And now the opponent only has 1 card left in their hand, so feeling pretty confident here. I would have blocked the 1/1 if they were going to offer the free eat. Milling my Rydane is not ideal, but not a huge deal. All right, let's go ahead and exile the Doomscar. And I guess now I'm going to foretell the Sot coming, because what I can do is Vega plus hold up Sot coming next turn. So if they don't do anything fantastic this turn, all right, I'm going to take the quote-unquote free eat. This could be a Jarl, this could be a Demon, could be a Mammoth Growth, sure, whatever, no big deal. As long as we're getting 1-for-1 trades, again, the opponent's on a mulligan to 5 on the play, so... yeah, we'll counter that, though. First relevant spell, cash in, draw a card, and now we have good old Sword of the Realms. So it seems like a pretty easy turn where we just sword, equip, foretell, attack for 4 vigilance. And now if they don't kill the Vega, or rather if they don't exile the Vega, I'm going to get to draw a card off the Raven. Raven's going to make the race easily in my favor, more so than it already is. Well, Elderfang Disciple's kind of... Or rather, Raven Wings is kind of annoying, but it's not that bad. Remember, I can block and just keep getting back a creature if I want to. Oh, that's another fantastic hit. All right, funny. So again, the issue is here, if I play out this Raven, which I'm going to do, and decide to foretell this, I don't think they're attacking next turn, but I think it's still worth it to get the value. And now we want to put this on the Raven, because the Raven can attack in the Shadow Mage. Sure. That's actually pretty annoying. The Lit Yara can make the Shadow Sage real big. So they can make that a 5/7 flying now? I wonder if I should have moved the sword back over to the Vega. Oh, they're attacking? That can't be correct. I was going to say. What? My Raven just blocks it for free. In a sense. Alright, I will block. Now they gave me an out. Now I get to kill their Shadow Sage, draw a card. Suit back up. Attack for 4 vigilance. Braggart a fantastic draw, because that lets me re-foretell. Get some extra value from this Vega. And you're seeing the power of the Sword of the Realms in action. Card is so, so good. So what can they do here? They can equip the Disciple, make it a 4/3 flyer. That doesn't really do anything. This looks like another matchup where maybe taking out the Battlefield Raptors could be correct, though. Like, they didn't seem awful versus them. It just didn't seem good enough. Here, it looks like Story Seeker maybe a little bit better as an early blocker. They did play the Raven's Wings. I didn't see any other enchantments, though, for like or artifacts, enchantments for Invoke. They played a Packmate. They had a Way down in the graveyard. I think I might just want to bring a Bounce spell in. Bounce is pretty good versus Lit Yara. Let's bring in the Depart since it's slightly better with the Vega here anyway. And looks good. Let's go. All right, game 2 of the second round. And we're on the draw again. I think this is actually okay to keep. Realistically, we have time before we need to find an island. And because of the Foretell, we can still use our mana efficiently the first couple of turns, no problem. Ooh, that is a problem card. Crap, we know our opponent has a ton of elves in their deck too. All right, well, we might just get overrun here. And if we do, I don't think I really have a good sideboard option for that either. So they play a Recluse on turn 3, which I'm going to probably just have to bound in gold so I don't take a bunch of damage. Yeah, I mean, if I don't draw an island next turn, we're going to have to run out the Halvar. If I do draw an island, then I can play out the bird and foretell another card. So they play a Rune of Might on the War Master, sure. Missing their land number 4, though. And we drew the Braggart. I mean, Halvar blocks this better. I guess I'm going to actually play out the 4/4 this turn. It's a little bit strange, but if they don't draw something, then they can't really attack. Let's see, we know they have like a Mammoth Growth in their deck. I don't think we saw any other pump effects. Okay, if they want to use Mammoth Growth here, I'm fine with that. I'll have to go ahead and take 2 trample, but that'll eat up their turn. Sure. Sorry, 3 trample. There's the island. Beautiful. Do I want a Vega this turn? I think we just Vega and foretell. Hope that they don't kill the Vega and that I get to Raven into like another blue source next turn. Elder Fang Disciple. All right, I'll have this card, the Braggart here. Once they get to 7 mana, though, we're just dead. They get to activate the Overrun effect. Oh, perfect. Okay, and I think I need to do that now. What I could do is just Verdict and... No, I guess they would... Yeah, I guess they would Raven's Wings. Yeah, okay, let's Raven. Draw our card. And go ahead and just immediately fire off this Verdict. Our 3/3 currently blocks any of their creatures, even with the wings on it. And I'm going to get to untap next turn with Saw It Coming, so... That's nice. That was one of our few ways to deal with the War Master. I'm glad it was tapped for that turn. Lit Yara. Okay, another annoying one. So, definitely foretelling. Vega is 100% attacking. The question is, do I want to attack with the Raven? Then they're going to suit one of these up and bash. Yeah, I think I'm going to hold off a little bit. I mean, I really want them to cast something, but I think with the Lit Yara Glade Warden on the battlefield, they're probably not going to do that. Ooh, and they have an Elder Hall now, too. Okay, so they get to kill my Vega next turn and make a bunch of 1/1s. I'm going to regret not attacking last turn with the Raven and trying to race. Yep, I'm going to trade here. If I wait, it's just going to get too problematic anyways. So hopefully we can find some action. That's not bad. I mean, presumably the Vega's gonna die here, right? So I wonder if I should just fire off the Raven form on the Lit Yara right now. I guess I don't need to. And the reason is, if they're using the Elder Hall on the Vega, then the Lit Yara can't be activated. So. Wow, they're attacking? Oh. Huh. I did not expect this. Yeesh. I want to trade, but I don't want to trade. If I don't trade, I go to 6, I Raven form it, then they just start smashing with everything. If I do trade and I don't draw a creature, then I just have nothing going on. Man, playing out that Halvar as the creature is looking worse and worse. This is a damned if I do, damned if I don't. I guess I'm probably better off not trading. Okay, that's a nice draw here. Let's Raven form the Changeling now. And I'm going to have to go shields down for a turn, but I get a 6/5 Flying Vigilance. Hopefully they don't have anything this turn, and then I get to untap with our Saw It Coming. At this point, we want to just draw like Giant's Amulet or whatever. That's too bad. Binding kills the Angel. They might attack with all. It would put me to 3. Oh, they have a way down? Jeez. All right, well, double removal spell turn was insane. And that'll do her. Okay. Damn. I mean, one removal spell I could beat, but the double removal spell turn was way too good. That was pretty yikes. That game, the Raptors actually didn't look crazy bad. Funny enough. Yeah, I still don't think I want them in, though. Yeah, let's just run it back. Go to game 3 here of round 2. We'll be on the play. Hand is fine, though unexciting. I mean, we can go ahead and run this out if we want to, just on a creature, since we have the champion in our deck to get it back out, but I think ideally the play is to wait until we find like Amulet. Okay, well, there's the Amulet. Although, that being said, I still need to find a second blue source for that. Now they have their War Master turn 2 again. That's not ideal. Oh, into 2 rares? Uh-oh. Really need to find that second blue source now. Okay, that's not bad. I guess I'm going to bound the troll now and attack. Not holding up protection for this turn, but I think that's okay. Yeah, well, what are you going to do? All right, need an island here. Braggart. I mean, if they don't kill the Braggart, that's fine, I guess. At least a flying lifelinker does a good job. Oh, maybe they have feed or fight. Okay, whew. That's neither feed nor fight. I'm a little bit more comfortable with this. Oh. God, I almost want to run out one of the amulets now, too. But I feel like I probably need to hold open counter. All right, let's just pass. Yep, take it all. I can't block the War Master because they have the 7 mana to pump. Elvish Bow, Elven Bow. Don't really have the luxury of sitting back and waiting. Kind of just have to fire that off. It blocks my flyer anyways. Oh no. All right. Well, now I think I'm going to leave back the Courser to chump. But we'll play out one of the amulets. Attack with our Braggart. I mean, that's pretty good value, right? We get to block with the Courser. Ooh, I'm really happy if they attack with that. I think. This could be a Mammoth Growth bait, though, but I think I like blocking with the Flyer to make them use whatever they have here, because then, will they just let it trade? Wait, what? Because now I just Rune Forge it back? Oh my. Yeah, Rune Forge back. Foretell pass. I guess they wanted the creature in the graveyard for the Lit Yara, but now I have Depart to bounce whatever they put the counters on. And they tap double green here like this if they use the ability, which means they won't be able to replay the Old Growth Troll if that's what they're putting it on. Oh, maybe they thought better of it. No, they didn't. Okay. I could lose to them having Mammoth Growth plus Veil, so I want to Depart prior to blocks instead of blocking first and hope they have a trick, or hoping that they don't have a trick. Looks like they did have another green in their hand, though. Unfortunate. I can pay 1, right? Yeah, so I can Rune the Amulet. It's a fantastic draw, but let's Amulet here first. Pass. They have no creatures in their graveyards. They can't lit Yara again, and then we can just dig for the 2 best cards in the top 6. So good. No, Raven form is pretty good versus Old Growth Troll too. But let's go digging first. Hey, how about a Raydane? Flyer's also fantastic, though. Huh, actually. They have 1 card in their hand. Yeah, I think at this point I'd rather... I mean, both are so good here. No, it's got to be the Raydane. Let's go ahead and glimpse. Get the Raven. Let's play out the Valkyria first. Play it safe. And that's going to allow us to attack next turn. That just neuters all of their creatures. Oh, well, even better. Right, this can deal 3, 4, 5. Sorry, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess I still don't have fantastic attacks, but I have good attacks. Foretell, Vega. If they're not going to do anything, I don't really have a rush. This is going to be pretty hard to beat. Okay, the third and final round of this Kaldheim draft with our blue-white flyer deck, and we have a fantastic hand. Best opening hand yet. In fact, this might be a hand where we play out the sword as just a hard-to-cast trusty machete here. We will see. There is a chance that Raydane gets cast as a creature. My guess is probably not, as Raptor and Raven are probably going to be good enough on their own, but ooh, man, we even drew the Runeforge champion. Fantastic. Red start for the opponent, who looks to be probably on Giants. So I think what we want to do here is actually play out the champion. Again, to tutor for the rune before we can draw it. And this way, even if I don't draw a land next turn, I can play out the Raven plus the rune. As they have an Arnie Broken Brow. Sure. Would you like to race? I like to race. Unfortunately, ruining one of these cards is not ideal, but I don't really want to take the time to play out the amulet or the sword and then enchant it, so I guess I'm going to go ahead and it's probably better to ruin the flyer. Draw a card. We did find the land. Good. And I'm just going to play the Mistwalker this turn, I think, instead of the Augury Raven, because it can block the Arnie. And then next turn, we're just going to slam the Valkyria here. I'll go ahead and block. Maybe they didn't expect me to make that play, but now we Raydane and just laugh all the way to the bank. Or sorry, Valkyria, not Raydane. Okay. Easy enough game one. Unfortunately, on Magic Online, you do not get to check what the opponent had in Foretell. It's kind of a bug right now. But they did have a fire or pyre, whatever land, so cutting the Raptors could be good. The blue-red deck often has the Mistwalkers anyways, which the Raptors would not be very good against, so I think I'm going to cut that. I'm going to bring in the Run in the Shore and then the Depart the Realms. Bounce is often good versus the slower giants. And okay, this is a pretty weak opening hand. The champion and the rune in our opening hand together is not ideal. I have none of my foretell cards, so I don't have a cheap creature to rune up before the champion. Could you keep this hand? Yes. I don't think it's good enough, whereas this one seems pretty nice. Pitch the bounce spell here. I don't want to pitch a land. A little bit greedy to pitch the third land when I have nothing but 3 drops, even though I am on the draw. Alright. Opponent has both their colors this game, with the cavalry on turn 2. This card is super annoying. It can often just allow you to overwhelm the opponent too quickly, as I'm getting hit for 5 here on turn 3. Efficiency's sake, I'm just going to play out the Courser, as it can trade with either of those. If I play out the Mistwalker, it just bounces, so it lets them continue to attack. Oh, I mean, here we go, the cavalry giving haste. But now, since they didn't offer the trade, which I think they probably should have done, we get to 2 mana bound the 4/4, and then play out a follow-up 3/3. Next turn, we can Mistwalker plus Foretell. Told you, they're going to have Mistwalkers. They have 1 card left in their hand after that? Okay. Feel pretty good about our position then, as the board is kind of stalling out a bit now. So we just need to draw one of our over-the-top cards, like the Halvar. The Valkyria would be great. Those are probably our 2 best draws. Giant's Amulet would be very good. We have 2 of those. No attacks, no plays. Yeah, I still don't think I want to attack, though. Six mana, 2 cards. There's that amulet, perfect. So I think with the amulet draw, I'm going to actually attack with 2 of the ravens. And they can either just bounce off of one if they want to, or they can pump their raven twice to trade. Ah, they have a squash for the other one. Sure, that's fine. Okay, land. Giant Cinder. Yep. And they're going to give it haste. Okay, well, we can... Not ideal, but what we can do is double block, or rather, yeah, double block it. Kind of have to. All right. Ow. The Mistwalker's left alive. Hey, and I drew one of the better cards to hit with 7 mana. And they're hellbent, so if they don't draw a way to kill the angel next turn, we suit it up with the amulet and becomes a 6/6 flying vigilance hexproof. Ooh, that's not what we want to see. Well, I suppose one good draw deserves another. Maybe like best draw into best draw for both players. Though with only 3 mana, it's a lot less likely they're going to be able to kill the angel. Bounce or squash are about the only things they can find. And they haven't instant topped anything, so hopefully they don't see them. Oh god, So what can they have found if they were thinking that hard? One top, one bottom, land play, okay. I can't beat a removal spell here. If they drew Squash or Bounce, we're basically just dead because they get to bash with all. Basalt Ravager, what is that for? 4 on my face, yikes. They didn't kill my Mistwalker, surprisingly. Huh. A little bit greedy, but I'll take it. So, ideally, I draw a creature next turn to play. Wow! They're full smashing, too. So we just want to prevent the most damage here. But that being said, I think what the correct play is to actually eat the cavalry instead of like the Berserker, because the cavalry can make any other future creature problematic. So we're going to go down to 4 here. Good draw. That's what we wanted to see. Get to attack for 6 flying vigilance, hexproof. And we actually want to cast this for 2 mana. The reason being I can hold up the Mistwalker activation. Man, that's not good for me. Another good draw for the opponent. They get to set up their draw. They get to draw an extra card the following turn and potentially ping me for 2. So if they find a giant, we are kind of dead. Double top, fantastic. Blech. I probably need to draw my Saw It Coming this turn. Or no, a creature. Yeah, and that's just not good enough. So if they found a giant, I do just die. And they had 2 looks at one. Bergstrider. Yep, that's definitely good enough. We had a fantastic draw, but then the opponent had some slightly better draws. All right, looks like the Kinseeker should probably come in here. Story Seeker also seems reasonable. The Run Ashore mount now maybe looks a little bit too slow. Let's bring in the Kinseeker and cut the Raven form. And go to game 3 of the finals. All right, game 3 of the 3rd round. We are on the play this time. Another slightly awkward hand, but I don't think you mulligan this one. I don't have any of my Foretell cards, and I have Vega, but I also have the Rune and the Champion in my hand. But if we can just find one land, we can like suit up the Vega. Ooh, now the question is, oh, this is actually kind of rough. Do I want to Rune a land here? Or just hope that I draw a land off the top next turn? Because if I Rune a land, the Champion is just dead. I'm going to risk it for the biscuit. Okay, turn 2 cavalry again. Did not get there. I could actually Rune their cavalry if I want to give them some life. I don't know how smart that actually is, but if I do, I can eventually get the Rune back later. I mean, I don't have a choice now. I think I'm going to do this. It's an awkward play, but I think it's okay. Because I'd rather get the Rune back later with the Champion than just put it on a land, which is dead forever, you know? All right, finally found our third land, thankfully. Let's go ahead and play out the Courser. Don't really care if they Demon Bolt this. Frostbite, a little more annoying, but that's why we didn't run out the Vega immediately. The nice thing is, if they use the Cavalry's ability, it's not attacking, right? Oh, they have a smashing success on my land? That's pretty funny. All right. I like this as a sideboard card. I don't think it was very good versus me. I don't think I showed them too many artifacts, but hey. Kind of funny now. Bergstrider? So they'd rather gain 2 life than hit me for 2 extra damage, which cannot be correct. Unfortunately, I cannot punish them in any way. I mean, I don't know if this was unlucky or what. It feels like them running the smashing success. While good there, not a good play overall. We're just getting crushed though, for sure. All right, it's probably game over. That's too bad. I like this deck. I didn't think it was the best deck, but a little mana screw is never fantastic. GG's. 2-1, not too upset. Sad that it ended like it did, but I don't think that deck was extreme by any means. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying all these Kaldheim drafts. Plenty more on the horizon. Thanks for watching this week's Card Kingdom YouTube video. We'll see you guys next time.